Hey, have you heard of this game, Mortal Kombat?
What is Mortal Kombat?
It's like Street Fighter, but you could fucking kill people.
Whoa!
The first game truly was like an expression of who we were at the time, the stuff that we consumed growing up as kids, and we just threw it all into the game.
You know, there was no template to how to make the games. There was no instructions, just winging it.
I'd never done this before. I didn't know how to do it. We were just kind of making it up as we went along.
We were just a bunch of knuckleheads doing whatever we wanted, and we were happy.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat!
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat! It is simultaneously exactly like and nothing like Street Fighter.
Kano.
Liu Kang.
Rated Johnny Cage.
Scorpion.
Sub-Zero.
Sonya.
Round one. Fight!
You had to guess like the moves and how to figure out the codes.
Remember having a cheat sheet.
Hit block and mash the buttons, I don't know.
Block, 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 block. High kick.
Fatality. Kano ripped out a heart, held it up, blood dripping from it.
It's the first time I've seen blood in a video game.
Blood flying out of these people's heads.
My parents were very worried about the violence.
I don't want you guys playing this. It sounds bad. Finish him!
The game narrator instructs the player to finish his opponent.
Oh my God, I didn't know that you could do that.
It was a mega hit. Game after game after game.
It's amazing. I could have never imagined how big it has all become.
It was, is, and always will be a fighting game for everyone.
It's funny to think that it all started from like 4 guys in Chicago that just wanted to make a cool martial arts game.
And those people. My parents were both born in Dominican Republic, and they were both doctors. I'm one of 5 kids. My older brother and older sister were born in Dominican Republic, and I was the first one born in Chicago, in Rogers Park, Chicago. And my brother and sister followed, Mike Boon, who I've been working with for 20-something years now.
So we spent a lot of time playing computer games. We had the old consoles. We had a Bally Astrocade.
The Bally Astrocade was a video game system that had a cartridge that was basic programming.
And you know, you have the little plastic overlay you put over the keyboard, and you could type in basic programs, and we would write little games.
And that was my first exposure to what a computer program is, the idea of creating something digitally by yourself, moving a pixel on the screen and whatnot. It just kind of taps into your brain of, oh, I have control over this, and that's probably where I really got hooked on the idea of being able to control things on a TV. All of my friends already had jobs waiting for them getting out of school, and I didn't. I made one resume my entire life. I had one resume, and at the very bottom I had a little asterisk that said, strong interest in video games. I got a call from a headhunter saying, are you interested in working at Williams Electronics? And at the time I knew exactly what Williams Electronics was. They were Defender, Stargate, Robotron, Joust, Sinistar, Moon Patrol. You know, there was 100 games that I was aware of that they worked on. I knew the people.
Those were exciting days of meeting your idols. Oh, there's Eugene Jarvis, there's Sal DeVita, Mark Trammell, Warren Davis. You're working alongside people that created the games that you grew up with.
I went there thinking that I was interviewing for a programmer's job, a video game programmer's job. And they were like, no, this is for pinball. Are you still interested? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And there was a part of my brain behind me that was like, you know, eventually I'd like to get into video games, but it sounds like a fun job nonetheless. My first pinball machine was a game called Millionaire. That was kind of like how I got my foot in the door I was just learning how to, you know, turn on lamps and flash bulbs and do special effects and whatnot. Eugene Jarvis was working down the hall from me on a game called F-14 Tomcat. He was working on a pinball machine, and Eugene asked me if I could do, you know, special effects for that game. It had some really cool light effects, and so everybody started asking me to do special effects for their games. I became the special effects guy.
I met Ed Boon the day he arrived at Williams. He was a really nice guy, young and naive, and smart as hell, and we had a great time working on Black Knight with Larry Tomorrow.
Eugene had gone full-time into working on NARC. And again, this wasn't just a video game. This was a whole operating system and hardware. He eventually gave me a hardware system in my office while I was programming pinballs, and then on the side I would just be like making packets of dollar signs exploding that they were using in NARC when you would drop money and whatnot. And so I was just messing around with that and was really getting excited about the notion of working on video games. And at some point there was an understanding that when I was done with Black Knight, I would join the video game department to work on high-impact football with Eugene in about 1990, I would guess.
Ashes of the video crash were still smoking in it. The whole industry, both console and arcade and everything, we'd been rehashing the same simple, you know, character-based games. And as far as character art, at this era, the Japanese were really dominating things, and they had just amazing artists, and we really didn't have that resource in the U.S. And so it was, how do we compete? You know, I was like thinking, well, why does everything have to be some kind of fantasy or, you know, men in tights or little cute characters running around the screen? Why can't we get Dirty Harry for the arcade? You know, you know, it's like, and by doing live action, we don't need all these animators. Technology was moving and digitization was starting to happen. So NARC was kind of born out of that.
We were envisioning what is the next step? The idea of doing digitized imagery. Well, one thing is it would require more than 16 colors. The next step in our hardware design, we knew back in like 86, maybe 87, was going to be 256 colors.
Pixel art is great, but Warren's tools made it possible for us to capture video and then edit that video in a way where we could select the frames very easily.
Eugene wrote the operating system. I wrote the display system.
It was very early, and there was only a few boards that would do this, and they were very, you know, touchy, and, you know, there was no tools, there was no Photoshop, there was no Maya. So Warren was really instrumental in creating that pipeline.
We couldn't grab real time off of a videotape, but we could videotape whatever we wanted and then still frame and grab individual frames. We've got the actual image, which is thousands of colors that an Amiga can generate. But then how do we turn that into 256? So I started exploring these algorithms to quantize or reduce colors from thousands to the best palette of 256 colors.
And there was always big problems with noise and getting washed out images, and the color was crappy, and
there's all sorts of tear and jitter and blur because VHS is terrible quality. But that's what we had at the start.
The development of the studio and the techniques that we utilized came from those guys. Folks like Warren Davis or Mark Lafredo. These are the guys working on the hardware and the software that we worked on. It's like, if you think about me at the time, I was like, 20, 21 years old. And so I was literally just inheriting all this work that had been done before me. And I mean, I think we all like to talk and fantasize about this garage development mentality and stuff, but really, there was there were tools and things that were happening behind the scenes that we benefited from.
Again, Eugene Jarvis with like his just kind of overall direction and focus. A guy named Todd Allen who literally wrote a debugger. To this day, I'm just amazed at everything that he's done. And Warren, he made it possible. Like if Warren didn't do what he did, I don't know if we would have been able to have done Mortal Kombat.
And yeah, and Warren was always around so that whenever we wanted anything else, a request came up, we just went over his office and talked to him, and to be like, yeah, okay, give me a day, I'll have that for tomorrow. And it's like, tomorrow, okay, great.
Besides being an amazing programmer and creating Qbert and working alongside of him and just being like friends with this idol of yours, was just really overwhelming. He's one of my favorite people in the world.
I don't go around talking to people about what I did for Mortal Kombat. I don't talk about what I did in general. I have to say there's a lot of people in my life, they didn't know about Qbert until they've known me for like 5 or more years. And then they would be like, wait a minute, you made Qbert? So I'm like, well, it never came up in conversation. I just don't, I don't dwell on it. Although I do have to say I am very proud of my contribution to Mortal Kombat. A lot of people talk about digitized graphics, but it's like they just existed. It's like they just came out of nowhere. No, people don't think that they came from somebody or from somewhere.
I was born and raised in Chicago. I grew up on the city's near West Side, which was, I was maybe a mile and a half away from the United Center. It was a fairly rough neighborhood, but from my earliest days, I started, drawing, probably started with a crayon or something, and found myself inspired by cartoons. Anything I saw on TV, I remember Popeye was a big thing that I watched a lot. Seeing Bruce Lee on the Batman television series was a big thing for me. I didn't know who he was. And this was when I discovered, he's this thing called a martial artist. That was the birth of my Kung Fu consciousness. Whenever I watched a TV show that excited me or saw a movie that excited me, the first thing I did was draw a picture and try to retell those stories as comic books. For some reason, the most difficult thing for me was to find stuff to draw on. Paper was at a premium, so whenever I could get paper, I would draw on it. I would draw on the backs of things. I'd draw on magazines, whatever I had. Paper seemed to be expensive. Growing up in the city, graffiti art was a big thing that was happening at the time, especially in the early 80s. A lot of the time, we would do stuff, on the sneak. And then I think we discovered after a while, if you just knock on a door and ask, a lot of the times they'll let you paint a mural on the side of their business or whatever it was. And so we did a lot of murals in the mid-late 80s. But I was a huge comic book reader, both DC and Marvel, and found a lot of inspiration from the comic book artists who were popular at the time. And so, of course, it was my dream to illustrate comic books, and eventually actually got a job doing it, and used that money to kind of pay my way through school. Most of the work I did was for a comic book called The Real Ghostbusters, based on the cartoon that was out at the time. I was still at the American Academy of Art, so I was still in college, and I was still illustrating the Ghostbusters comic book, when a friend of mine who I met at the American Academy of Art named John Vogel got a job at Williams Electronics doing pixel art for video games.
He had gotten a job at Now Comics, and he wanted me to help him with Real Ghostbusters. And I was like, sure. So he got me an interview at Now Comics. Then once I got my job at Williams Bally Midway, Mark Trammell now needs an artist. Who can we get to work with him? And I'm like, I know a guy that's doing the Ghostbusters comic book,
And John called me up and said that they were looking for another artist. When I was hired at Williams, it was to work on Smash TV. And so I interviewed with Mark, I interviewed with Eugene Jarvis.
Amazing guy, amazing artist, working on Smash TV. He came up with this animation that the character, as he exploded, the eyeball came up right facing you in the face. And basically he had to, 3D rotate all this stuff. Like the man was a human 3D rendering system. The guy's a genius.
So Smash TV was a lot of fun to work on, a lot of hand-drawn pixel sprites, very small graphics in terms of the character art that I was creating. I know that in the back of my mind, I still wanted to do comic book art, but I fell in love with video games and the folks that I worked with at Williams, and I knew right away that, hey, this is the place for me.
Liu Kang. Liu Kang win. Fight. Sonya wins. Fight. Sonya wins. Fight. Fight. Johnny Cage wins. Fight! Finish him! Johnny Cage wins. Fight. Fight. Finish him. Fight. 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 Finish him. Fight. Round one, fight. Liu Kang wins. Round two, fight. Finish it. Liu Kang wins. Fatality. Round one, fight. Liu Kang. direct. Round one. Fight! Round two. Fight! Wins. Round three. Fight! Finish him. Liu Kang wins. Round one. Fight! Round one. Fight! 2, fight! Finisher! Round 1, fight! Choose your destiny. Excellent. Fight. Liu Kang wins. Fight! Liu Kang wins. Fight! you will fail.
Thousands of years ago, in a battle with the fallen elder god known as Shinnok, I was responsible for the death of an entire civilization. To rid all realms of Shinnok's menace, I waged a war that plunged the Earth into centuries of darkness and banished Shinnok into a place called the Netherrealm. Now, after Shao Kahn's defeat at the hands of Earth's warriors, Shinnok has managed to escape his confines in the Netherrealm. The war is now being fought once again. Only this time, it can be won by mortals.
Choose your destiny. Round 1, fight! Round 2, fight! Finish him! Liu Kang wins. Flawless victory. Round 1, fight! Shang Tsung. Round one. Fight! Shang Tsung wins. Round two. Fight! Finish him! Shang Tsung wins. Round one. Fight! Johnny Cage.